What's going on, everybody? So something a little bit different today. I actually got something in here that is not the usual Jeep or not the usual exhaust work or whatever. We have an 06 Silverado sitting behind me here that's got some issues with the rear end, and we'll go over that in a second. But I wanted to show you guys a cool new tool that I picked up that is probably something I should have had a long time ago, but we're going to get into explaining what's going on with this Chevy, so here we go. Alright guys, so as you can see, the bed is actually off of this truck, and we'll show you why in a second. But taking the bed off of these things is super easy. It's just 8 bolts. You pull them out, comes up, half the bolts break, and we'll have to deal with those later. But what we're dealing with here is we have this rear cross member that is pretty well rotted. We have this shock mount cross member, which is rotted. We have the gas tank support cross member for the rear of the gas tank, which is heavily rotted. You see the big holes in it there. And then we have the front gas tank support, which is not yet rotted but is going to be rotted. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to well, not today, probably not in this video. I want to show you guys something else first, but we're going to replace this cross member, we're going to replace that cross member, we're going to replace that cross member, and we're going to see what we can do about that. Maybe we can save that particular cross member, just clean it up. I do see some rot over on the side over here that looks pretty bad, so we may end up just completely replacing that rear cross member if we can find one. But yeah, this is welcome to New England winter weather. So, but what we're going to do today, we're not actually going to be replacing these. We're going to make this kind of a video series. What I wanted to show you guys is a new tool that I picked up. Been around for years. These things have been around for years and years, and I've just never had one. I never found a need for one until this particular project. Now, what we've got with this truck is, you can see we've got a lot of scale. There's a lot of just scaly stuff on this frame. Now, we want to make sure that this section of the frame is actually good, because our leaf spring mounts to this, and you don't want to have this come off of the frame or the bumper come off the frame or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this guy. Now, it is just a, inexpensive Harbor Freight central pneumatic needle scaler. Now you can see it's got all these needles on the end of it, and what this will do is when you pull the trigger, those needles will move in and out, and those needles moving in and out will pound up against the metal and knock the scale off of it. So what we're going to do is I am actually going to give you a quick demonstration on regular video, and then we will do a time lapse, and I'll needle scale everything that we need to make sure everything is cool, and we'll go from there. So let's get to it. One thing you want to make sure of, guys, with this is that you wear a pair of these, because there is a ton of stuff that's going to be flying everywhere. And I'm also going to put on a pair of gloves because these things vibrate a lot. The gloves help with the vibration, so here we go. Alright guys, so we got this guy in the medium setting, and we're going to hit right in this top area here and see if we can clean it off a bit. Alright guys, so you can see that that actually knocks a good bit of the scale right off of there. So here's an area that we didn't do. You still got all this, scaly crap on here. Even like this area here where there's all that. And then we're almost down to clean metal. So I'm going to set up the time lapse, put on my pink earmuffs, and get to town. Alright guys, so as you saw, we used the needle scaler, and the benefit of the needle scaler is now if you look at this frame, I don't know how close we can get in, but there's no scale left on this anymore. It's pretty clean. You can't even wipe anything off of it. So our next step now is to go around the frame and actually look to see, like in areas here where water tends to collect. Let's see if I can get a little light on that for you. Yeah, in areas right there, like where water tends to collect down here, we want to make sure we hit that with the scaler and make sure that we have enough metal here, because this is where the trailer hitch mounts. This is the rear section of the trailer hitch here, and then up here we have the front section of the hitch where those two bolts are. So we want to make sure that our frame down here is actually not hollow. You know, you want to make sure that you have good frame material, and you can see all the stuff that actually comes off. I mean, this stuff now we can literally just do this because we hit it with the scaler, and then we can see that we still have a pretty decent amount of frame left there. So we are good. But we did run into an area here where we do have a little bit of a hole, and it got a little thin right in this section here. Not a huge deal, because we've got metal that we can fix that with. If it was anywhere else, this would be a problem, but right here is not a big deal, and it's only thin literally from here to here. So we might not even have to worry about that section. But the one nice thing also about the needle scaler is that it will literally open up the areas that you might not have seen before. So you look down in here, right next to the shock mount is literally gone. There's nothing left of it. So it's a good thing. And then of course the evap canister also looks like Swiss cheese. So we may just cut that off so it doesn't keep spreading cancer any further. And then of course all of that is what we didn't hit. But what this will allow us to do now is, once we get all these cross members in, we can come back over this entire frame with a wire brush or a flap disc or whatever, get it down to bare shiny metal. Then we'll hit it with some nice self-etching primer, and we'll hit it with like a protective paint coating. And then that'll allow the customer to do whatever he wants to in the future, whether it be throw a coat of Por 15 on it or some undercoating or what have you. At least he'll have a good base, and this rust will quit happening. So we don't want to put brand new cross members in only to have the frame fall off from here back. So that's one of the things that that we're not looking forward to. Now with this cross member, the more that we hit it with the needle scaler, the more we saw that it just came apart. So we're gonna have to cut this one out. I don't know that I want to buy another one versus just make a piece that goes in here, because I don't know that we really need to buy this. It's not really a supportive cross member. It's literally just in here to hold this junction box as well as the spare tire mount. So we may just make something out of some tubular steel welded to the frame and call it a day, and do that. So next thing we're going to do with this is we're going to blow this frame out, get all the crap off of it, and then we're going to start cutting. But before we do that, of course, in typical MorFab fashion, it's always super busy. We got workings for losers. We got to put a radio, we got to do some speakers, we got to do some serious stuff, like as in serious radio. Turn this light off because I probably look like a ghost at this point. But yeah, so we got to do a stereo in that. We got some speakers for it. We got the Sirius satellite radio, and we got some general wiring stuff we have to take care of, because anytime somebody does wiring themselves lately, it just seems like it's a complete nightmare. So we're going to get on that boat, get that finished up, and then tomorrow I'll bring you guys back in and we'll start cutting those cross members out and getting the new stuff in. We got to drop the tank. I'm not going to show you that because it's pretty simple. And and we'll get those cross members cut out and get them back in. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video. It's going to be a banger. Sounded like Tommy just then. Oof. But yeah, so stick around for tomorrow's video, and we'll get those cross members in place. We'll start getting that stuff welded in, and we'll make that truck great again. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, throw a comment down below. I love reading them, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.